3, 2, 1, go. Hey guys, Ranchin here, bringing all Zerg commentary. This is going to be the second set between Light and Hero in the round of 16 of the innate MSL, and they're going to be duking it out on Fighting Spirit. Going to have Hero at the bottom right-hand position at 5 o'clock as the orange Zerg, and that means we're going to have Light at the upper right-hand position as the teal Terran. So I got to say, the first set between these two guys was awesome. It was just so awesome in his play. Hero, honestly, I felt he had an opportunity to take a huge lead in that game, but he didn't. He played too aggressively, didn't play economically enough, did not get another base what he should have. He had more than enough time and should have had the resources to really do that. He was so far ahead, and yet he allowed Light to get back into the game, micro his way back into the game, using beautiful medic marine micro, being very tenacious overall, using his science vessel as well. And that's really what I feel Light is really known for. That his TVZ is his best play by far, and especially his late game TVZ. If he gets to late game TVZ, he tends to do fairly well. He tends to often win games. And I really look forward to see what he manages to do if he moves on forward here in this MSL into the round of 8. I'm gonna hope personally that he gets a Zerg there as well, so he gets an opportunity to move on, because that is his best matchup. And at the same time, because whenever I watch Light play TVZ, I get immensely entertained. It's always a lot of fun to watch him play against Zerg. So I'm always happy when that happens. Okay, two drones being moved out by Hero. So he's apparently by Hero, huh? So he's gonna go. Yeah, he's gonna go for a 12 hatch. He did send his over to the low right wrong position. So he's sending his drone upright. Light apparently going for a 14cc from see. Yeah, saying on CV right now to go for an early command. So he's going to go for 14cc, going to play heavy economy here. And luckily for him, By Hero went for, I might end up calling him By Hero sometimes as well, people, just to let you know. But yeah, Hero went for 12 hedge. So this is going to be fairly safe. The drone is going to come inside, going to try to harass that CV. Light should have another CV. He's actually stopping building that command server just a few seconds just to harass the drone away while he waits for a reinforcement SCV to come in to continue building that. Heroes at the very least not going to be allowed to do any sort of harassing, and not going to be able to, at least at the very least, going to delay that command server just a few seconds, but overall not too heavy harassment. He's going to go around, at least get the full-on scout. While he himself gets a spawning pool and extractor in his own base. Light does have his first initial racks up, so he's going to be able to get some Marines out to defend this fairly soon. But there are not going to be any sort of aggressive actions coming in from Hero, though. He's not going to be. His spawning pool is almost finished, so he's going to have some Zerglings out fairly soon, but I don't think he's going to be able to do too much damage. I think Light might even decide to put a bunker at that natural expansion, put a couple of Marines in that just to make sure, just to defend against any sort of Zerg run by. Might, I think, be overall fairly safe in that. He's going to actually put a second racks down just to get some heavy production of Marines out to help himself defend, just to make sure, is meanwhile getting an SCV scout in Hero's base, going to spot those Zerglings popping up, so he's definitely going to need that. Idle SCV there, I think, is going to start building the refinery, so he's going to be putting down his academy fairly soon alongside. 4 Zerglings now out for Hero, while he actually upgrades Lair at his natural expansion. There is a full scout being gotten on that by Hero, by Light, I'm sorry, and we're going to see whether Hero actually decides to go for a 3rd hatch inside of his main, or eventually transition into a 3rd base a little bit out on the map, perhaps the 6 o'clock, perhaps a little bit more far, perhaps a little bit more far out, and take the lower left-hand corner bases, take the natural and the main there. Not quite sure what he's going to go for there. Light, just has a couple of Marines out right now, and meanwhile, Hero's using his Zerglings to try to kill the SCV scout. Light, meanwhile, doing a pretty decent job of keeping it alive. It's not going to stay alive for much longer. Those 4 Zerglings are going to get us around on it. Just running around, trying to spot the tech, trying to see what it is exactly what Hero goes for, just running around. And Hero's Lair, I think, is up at the moment. He's putting down a spider inside of the natural expansion. I think Light actually sent out another ACV scout. Spots that, definitely spotted that spire, just running inside the main, trying to make sure there's no little trick coming up. Supply depot coming up alongside. The academy is almost ready. I'm not seeing the evolution chamber quite yet, but he should be putting it down momentarily to put us turrets into defensive positions. So Hero, from what I can see, is going for 2 base mutas, is gonna expand at the 6 o'clock position, put a 3rd hatchery there. It's a little bit out of your way, kind of hard to defend at certain points because there are 2 entryways, but the entryway that your opponent will most likely be entering, that's from the north side. It has a very small choke, just planting a couple of lurkers there. at least initially, will be enough to defend it. But yeah, the Spire is going to be up, and it's all going to come down to what it is that Hero manages to do here. If he manages, he's going to go in. Well, fluid with the Zerglings. There's a couple of Marines. I think one single Marine came out there. Yeah, 2 Marines to actually push him back. Yeah, White being very, very wary of any sort of tricks. Does have his eBay coming up. He just wants to make sure that he doesn't focus all of his troops on one side. He's going to lose an ACV there. Probably going to lose another one as it comes out. Yeah, but Light definitely being very careful. Make sure there's going to be no rumbuys coming up. What's going to be important now for By Hero is to go in there, harass that economy. He's going to put a creep colony, 2 creep colonies, natural expansion, as you saw those Marines pushing out. He's meanwhile going to move in with his own Zerglings. There are a couple of fire bats on the ramp, though, so he's not going to be able to run up a ramp, but he's going to be able to pick quite a few SCVs off. SCVs are actually microing a little bit, trying to force those Zerglings back. A lot of them actually losing a lot. Fire bat just staying. Want to make sure there's not going to be any sort of run by. So at the very least, Hero doing a fairly decent amount of harass. Light's going to go in before the second colonies come up. He's going to go for the full harassment. So, man, some of these Mutals come offline, but not quite a large enough clumpion to really do any sort of damage. Both second colonies come down. Light with a very beautiful aggressive action. Zerg is coming in from the back, being forced off that harassing that we're doing. Of this Marines are going to be able to do a lot of damage. The Solaire is going to take a while to take down, because smart decision there by Hero, so he's not going to lose that layer quite as quickly as if it were a hatchery, but he's losing all of his drones, trying to micro his Mutalisk around, still several Marines inside, 1 Firebat coming alongside. He might even do a lot of damage if he gets inside. The man is going to get picked off, though, but the natural expansion for Hero not minding at all now, so while he was focusing quite a bit on the Light's natural expansion, got a lot of his own economy damage, does manage to clean this entire force up, but meanwhile, the Firebat is snuck into the 6 o'clock position. He's going to pick some drones off there, at least prevent mining. So here at the moment is only mining for 1 base. I think he should at this point. It's going to take him a little while to reestablish saturation to get a decent sort of saturation at his natural expansion. I think this was absolutely beautiful move here by Light, because what it gave him plenty of time to rebuild his SV count, get those turrets up, because he knew those Mutals were coming. And what he did, he forced those Mutals to stay inside of Hero's bases, not allowing them to move out and harass his own economy. So meanwhile, he has gotten a lot of turrets up. He's gotten plenty of defensive position up. I don't think not really quite sure whether his medic Marine number is as high, is very high. That probably the extent of his forces you see right there, but he does have his 4th Rax up, and he is getting his macro going. He's going to be able to hit quite a few more Marines out, but he's done a lot of damage to Hero. Hero, meanwhile, is going to have to